Evening, everyone. This is John Rollins, and we're here for our weekly S.T.R.I.V.E session. S.T.R.I.V.E, strategies to remain informed, strategies to remain victorious, strategies to remain empowered. I trust that you had an amazing week, and I am excited to be here again on this evening. There's a lot of exciting things that are happening in our lives now. We are getting some outcomes that I think for many people have been pleasant, and so I just pray that you are basking in all of the positivity that we're experiencing. And if you're not experiencing positivity, I pray that it'll turn around for you. All right. So again, we're here for the S.T.R.I.V.E session. Strategies to remain informed, victorious, and empowered. And our topic for this evening is making eye contact. And I tell you before I get too far into this that I'm probably going to go in a direction that may be a little uncomfortable, but I want to try to bring out a thought that may provoke some thought for you. All right, making eye contact. And so let's start out kind of at the surface level before we dive in. Uh, First of all, I think all of us understand that many times we're told that the eyes are the window to the soul, and we tell people to look into someone's eyes. That way, you don't show that you're not being deceptive. That way, you show that you're not being deceptive. You're not trying to mislead or deceive them in any way. You make eye contact with them. But I also understand that in certain cultures, making eye contact with individuals could be perceived as disrespectful. So you want to be careful who you're directing that eye contact to. All right. And here's the interesting thing: because of COVID, now all we really have to make our decisions about people is their eyes. A lot of us wear masks most of the time, and so all people can really see as far as our emotions is maybe a raised eyebrow, or maybe you see a glitter in someone's eye, but we're kind of relegated to using their eyes to kind of read what the person is doing. Of course, there are other body language, body cues, but the eyes are pretty much the only thing that we're able to see. All right. And I remember when I was a part of the National Speakers Association, one of the individuals who came and was giving us some tips about how to speak to 1 into 1,000. They said you want to look at a person's eyes, but if it's uncomfortable for you to make eye contact, they say just look into one eye, look into the left eye, and then just make a steady, continuous eye contact in that person's to that left eye. And I tried doing that, and it's amazing. It actually works. So for those of us who struggle, just look at someone and try not to blink. Look in one eye, and that will help you to maintain eye contact. Another benefit of eye contact is when you're driving, you come to a four-way stop, and I just use that as an example. Or you're getting ready to yield, or you're doing things. Maybe somebody's walking across the street. I think it's a good idea for both individuals to just make eye contact and just give a nod that lets the other person know, yes, I'm aware of your presence. I acknowledge you. And then from there, you all can decide who goes first, who waits. But because you made eye contact, then at least the person knows that you're there. All right. But this is where I wanted to go with this idea of making eye contact. A lot of times we have individuals whose path we cross paths with throughout the day. And a lot of people, because they're dealing with stuff, they may walk with their head down. They may walk and because they don't feel that they're noticed, or sometimes maybe they don't want to be noticed. You don't look them in the face. And as many times I think that we can acknowledge a person's presence by looking them eye to eye. making eye contact with them. I would there's been for the last 3 weeks there's been a trial. Okay, and again, this is the part where it may get a little uncomfortable for you. There's been a trial, and you all know what I'm talking about, the murder of George Floyd, and I think this may be the first time that I've publicly spoken about that whole scenario. It for whatever reason, the range of emotions that so many people dealt with, it wasn't a topic that I want to spend a lot of time dealing with verbally. But I watched the trial. I watched the trial, and I watched it. I think I saw most of it. And I go up, and again, the judge, the attorneys, the defendant, many of the witnesses, when they first walked up, they all had on masks. And of course, now when the witnesses and the attorneys were questioning, they removed the mask and they talked. Okay, but the defendant, for most of the trial, he had his face, his mask on, and so all you could do was kind of read the eyes. And I thought about that, and even when I was watching the verdict, okay, and how I feel about the verdict is not the issue. That's not what I don't celebrate, or that's not what I'm trying to point out. But I watched his eyes as the verdict was read, making eye contact, and then I thought about going back to that that event, and for whatever reason, during the verdict, it occurred to me that the bystanders who recorded the videos, who were there pleading for for some relief for the victim. At one point, one of them was the last person to make eye contact with with that victim. And what did the eyes say when that man's on the ground and he's calling out, he's yelling for air, he's yelling to breathe, and he looks into the crowd. I know he was having conversations with someone, the bystanders, he's trying to have conversations with the officers. But there was one person I can envision who looked up. When he looked up at one time, before he lost breath, before he lost consciousness, he looked up and he made eye contact with someone. And what did that eye contact, what message did it communicate? Why is that important? Because it's possible that as we go through our day, as we encounter different individuals at work, at home, at school, at the store, out in public, at the park, it's possible that the eye contact that you make with an individual may be the very last time that that person is able to look into someone's eyes. And if you are that last person that they see, what are your eyes communicating to them? When we make eye contact, is it communicating that I care? Is it communicating that I think that you matter? Is it communicating that I value you? Or is our last eye contact with them a scorn? Is it an evil eye? And I also thought about, when Christ was on his way to the cross, and he's going through carrying his cross to up to Golgotha, to the mountain. But as he's going through and he stumbles, he's actually making eye contact, I believe, with different people on his way to his death. And I believe he looks out and he speaks to the disciple, he speaks to his mom. I believe he may have spoken to I know he spoke to the other individual who was on the cross beside him. But if they had an opportunity to look into his eyes, and if he had an opportunity to look into their eyes, what was the message that that eye contact communicated? And I'm hopefully encouraging you, even though again those may be some somber uh, examples, but I want to remind you that the person that you have that exchange with, the message that you communicate to them by your eyes, that they're caring, that is loving, that is compassionate, that could very well be the thing that makes the difference in that person being restored to a place of calm, a place of peace. They're looking to see if anybody notices them, and everybody's so busy, so caught up in their life, so caught up in their appointments, trying to get from one place to the other in the business of life, that they fail to acknowledge the individual. And sometimes they walk away saying, see, nobody even notices me. Nobody cares. And so I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you. And again, I'm considerate of the different cultures. I understand that it may be disrespectful to make eye contact with some individuals. But a lot of us, we just want to know that somebody sees us, that somebody recognizes our presence. A lot of us, we just want to feel that we're more than just a vessel that's taking up space on earth. We want to know that we matter. And so we can do that. We can demonstrate that to other individuals by looking them in the eye, and communicating happiness, communicating joy, communicating support, communicating love, just by making eye contact. So I want to encourage you to make eye contact. Don't be so busy that when your children come home, you speak to them, but you don't speak to them. When your spouse comes home, you speak to them, but you don't speak to them. When you visit your parents, you speak to them, but you don't communicate with them. You don't connect with them. Make eye contact with your friends. Let your friends know that you see them. Not only do you see them, but you see them. Okay, not only and by that, and I know you know what I mean, but you don't just see a physical presence in front of you, but you're able to look into that person's eyes with the intent of trying to connect with them. Make eye contact. All right. Hey guys, this is John with the S.T.R.I.V.E session. Strategies to remain informed, strategies to remain victorious, strategies to remain empowered. And I want to close the way that I normally close, but I'm going to alter just a little bit. Many of you have been watching these sessions. Many of you will share, you give comments, you'll like, and you know that I am the president CEO of a nonprofit called Motivate You of North Central Florida. Well, tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., we're having an annual fundraiser. And if you go to the Facebook page, you'll see that I posted it on the page, and we also have it posted on the Motivate You of North Central Florida page. I'm asking that you would consider making a donation to Motivate You for tomorrow. Okay, we're a nonprofit. We work with agencies who serve the youth. We work with elementary all the way up to college students. We actually work with adults. And tomorrow, there's an organization that has agreed to do a match for us, up to $2,000, a dollar for dollar match. So if you give $5 on tomorrow, because of that match, that $5 will make $10. But $10 for us could touch potentially 100 lives, because we try to give out the You Are Important wristbands to every participant in our program. And so I'm asking that you would consider going to the link, the amazing gift for Motivate You of North Central Florida, and contributing to our cause. I assure you that we use the money to operate the organization. And once again, it doesn't matter the amount. The fact that you are showing us that you support the work that we're doing. It means so much to us. And so again, tomorrow, if you're watching this tonight, but if you're not watching it, on April 22nd, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for 12 hours, we will have what's called the Amazing Give. And it's an opportunity for the community to go out and to support the nonprofits who are doing the work that many of us want to do, but we don't have the time to do. If you ever said you want to work with children, but you don't feel like you have the time to do it, okay, support us and we'll do it. If you ever want to go out and build up, provide life skill trainings to youth, but you don't have the time to do it, support us. We'll go out and do it. If you have kids or young people that you feel that are losing their interest in life and they need to be motivated, okay, support us. And you want to do it, but you don't have time to do it. Support and motivate you of North Central Florida, and we will go out and we will reach them in the elementary schools. We'll reach them in the middle schools, the high schools. We'll reach them in the after-school programs. We'll reach them in the Department of Juvenile Justice. We'll reach them in the Department of Children and Family Services. We will reach those young people and remind them that not only today, but tomorrow and forever, that they are important. All right. Hey guys, this is John with the S.T.R.I.V.E session, and you all be blessed, okay? All right, bye.